You can do a lot alone, but you can do so much more with the help of others, specifically the help of others who have been to the place that you're trying to get to. Welcome back to the channel, folks. I'm excited to share with you folks why you want to find a mentor today. Why do we even need one of those? Do I even need one of those? And are they even helpful? Let's jump into it. So I personally have been mentored, and I actually have been a mentee as well. And I can tell you, it is one of the best experiences I've had in my life when I was looking for areas of growth. I wanted to find ways and techniques and systems that I could use in order to take me to the next level in my life, right? To level up, essentially. And so I've done it many times, and I've also had the very, very blessed position of being able to help others to do that, whether it's in their finances, whether it's in building their wealth, whether it's in being a better parent, whether it's in finding themselves, right? I've been able to help people through that one-on-one and in groups, and of course on social media. It's such a great experience to be able to do that, because as an introvert myself, I don't necessarily get out there in a manner that maybe an extroverted person does, but I have so much to share, which is partly why this YouTube channel is here, but why I highly recommend you look for a mentor. One of the biggest reasons I feel that people should consider mentors is because it's different from school in that it's not just a textbook that you're following, that you have to you take a test to make sure that you understand it and then you pass, fail, or get whatever grade you are. With a mentor, the best word that I can think of is nuance. A mentor brings you the nuances of whatever it is that you're trying to learn, right? Whether it's real estate, your money, social media, all these different things that you might need help in. Your mentor is going to bring that one thing, and that is nuance, which is a subtle distinction or variation, right? According to whatever their experiences are, right? But when you're looking for a mentor for whatever area you're looking at, it really is important to consider a few things. First of all, think about who you look up to. Just think about your social media to start with, right? Who do you follow? Why do you follow them? What are the things that they say and do and post that you connect with, right? That you relate with, and that maybe you comment on or you like, right? And even better, what advice do they give that you actually follow? That is definitely somebody who you might want to consider as your mentor in the future. They might be motivational, they might even be inspirational, but if you're starting to already implement their advice or the things that they share with you just through their social media in your life, that is a really big hint that this might be someone that you might want to look further into. Next thing I want you to do is to consider hiring them. Keyword, consider, right? Don't just jump into hiring them. There's a few things that you have to think about. Number one, what is your goals? Number two, what is your budget in money? And what is your budget in time? A lot of us who have purchased mentoring, right? We've hired people to mentor us. We've considered all these things before, right? But what I always start off with is my goal. When I wanted to buy a real estate, after reading the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I really got the juices rolling in me to want to buy my first house. My husband and I were living in Section 8 housing at that time, but that really got the juices flowing. So we would go to Borders and we would read all the different books that came from the Rich Dad community, and I would start, diving into that. What you want to do is consider your goals. So if my goal is purchasing a house, then who out there are helping people buy houses? It might be a realtor, it might be a real estate investor, it might be a guru like Robert Kiyosaki, who's writing a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, right? You read his books, you go to his websites, follow him on social media. These are the things that you want to consider, because once you find that person and you see that they meet the goals that you want to meet, now you can start considering things like money, right? How much is it going to cost? Can I afford that cost? And what I want you to consider is this. Of course, we love free content. Free, juicy content out there is what a lot of us out there who are sharing things, we want to share that with you, right? But there is some level where the nuance comes in where you're going to pay for it, right? And especially if you do want a mentor who is going to help you through the next few steps of getting you to what your goal is, it probably is great to consider getting one that you're going to have to pay for. And it really comes from a couple of ways of looking at it, right? First, by paying for something, it's like you're willing to put money up for their experience, right? You find it valuable enough. The second thing is when you pay for shit, you're more likely to follow through on it, right? Think of all the things that you've gotten for free that maybe you've used a little bit and then you kind of discarded, right? But the things that you've paid for found a way to prioritize themselves in your life because you've lost money in exchange for this thing, right? So you are more likely to follow through on it and to use what you purchased. That's another reason why I say to consider the money part. Now, the other part that you want to consider is your budget and time. If you're a busy mama, which I know a lot of you are out there, you're super busy, right? You got work, you got your family, you have your household to take care of, maybe you have a side hustle that you're doing, you got a lot going on, and now you want to get better at something, and so you figure you're going to hire a mentor. That's great. But really, what is your time constraints, right? If you are going to add in a mentor, I'm just going to say you probably should drop one of the things that you're doing. Maybe you're the team mom for your kids' soccer team. Maybe you pull out of that for one of the seasons, right? Because you're going to concentrate on this, right? Or maybe it's about asking someone for help. Maybe you tell your husband, hey, I'm taking this course for 6 weeks. Can you on Monday nights from 7 to 9 p.m. can I make sure that you take care of the kids so that I can have this time, right? It's about creating the space for yourself. And if you can't do that, maybe now is not the time. It doesn't mean that you can't. It's just maybe something that you're going to back burner for a time that you would, because I would hate for you to invest in a mentor that you're not going to put your 100% into as well, because I don't want you wasting their time, and I definitely don't want you wasting yours. Let me just talk a little bit about the different types of mentorship, or coaching is another way that you call it, that's out there. First of all, there's a standard one-on-one where it's just you and your coach, and there's no one else in the room, and they can just concentrate solely on you. You're likely going to pay a higher cost for this because it's specific to you, very, very customized, and you are getting the most of them by them being there one-on-one with you. The second level is group coaching, where you might have one coach helping a bunch of people on the same subject matter, right? And again, the price might be higher than some things, but it's going to be lower than one-on-one, simply because now you have less access because you're sharing that access with the group that you're in, right? So that's something to consider. Another type of mentoring or coaching style is going to be the mastermind. Now, the mastermind is going to be when you kind of have some knowledge in the area that you're seeking to get better at, but you're not quite there yet. When a mastermind is usually a group of people, not a huge group, kind of a small group. Usually I've seen not more than 10, but like usually a nice size is anywhere from 4 to 6, with either couples or individuals who are in this mastermind. But the thing with the mastermind is you're not just going there to nom nom nom. You're not just going there to consume, right? You are also going there to contribute. So it's not like you just follow in a curriculum. You are getting, help in some things, but you also are a contributor to that community. So these are going to last maybe 6 months to a year. It's not going to be just like a couple-week course. So that's another type of mentoring that you can consider. So then there's going to be things like the pre-recorded course purchases that you can do, where it's a systematic way. Here's all the things you need to do. And it's a lot of times it's a video of the coach giving you all of their advice, followed by maybe some workbooks and some activities for you to do to practice all the things that you're trying to get better at, right? And that's pre-recorded. And those are great. I've purchased many of those. Now, what I want you to know about yourself when it comes to these things is if your kids are having a hard time with distance learning and being on the laptop and learning for long periods of time, consider that might also be an issue for you. So this might be good in that you can give yourself the extra time and you're not having to stay on course with a whole group or mastermind. But the drawback of that is if you really have a hard time learning in that type of environment, then that might not be the best. It might be better for you to have one-on-one with person where they will keep your attention and you will be able to ask your specific questions and you can get the things that you need directly from that person rather than trying to scour through a whole program in order to get the information that you want. But you're going to pay more because you have more access. The idea, especially when you're looking at coaches and you might be wondering, why do some cost so much and some cost so little, right? Like, what is it, right? It really comes down to access. The more access you get to a person, the more expensive it's going to be. So that's why you will see, a grand scheme of, like from $97 all the way up to like $5,000, right? That's why there is such a broad range. So the last question I want to leave you with is this. When it comes to a mentor, it doesn't matter how much it costs, right? Because you will see, like I said, many different price points for the different mentors that you see out there. What I want you to consider is how much is the investment in my self-worth? That's very different than asking, oh, why does Shan charge $3,000 for her time, right? Yeah, no, Shan's worth it, number one. But number two is asking yourself, am I worth the investment in myself? Am I going to put in the work into myself? Because if you're going to buy yourself a $397 program that, probably is really robust and really good, but is just pre-recorded, you are also kind of naming that value on yourself. So I don't want you to get so hung up on the numbers that you're paying for someone, because really what it comes down to is the value that you're going to get. You will get more value when you get a live person helping you versus just getting, a pre-recorded course. And I will say, I have a course as well that's out there that's pre-recorded. That is helpful, right? But you have to know yourself, and you have to know your value and what's important to you. So take all of that, put it together, and figure out what's best for you. I still always will recommend a mentor, especially if you are trying to level up your game in business, in life, in relationships. Ask someone for help. You can do a lot alone, but you can do so much more with the help of others, specifically the help of others who have been to the place that you're trying to get to. That's your little hint for the day. Alrighty, guys, I will see you on the other side. And until then, keep evolving. Bye. See ya.